Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 7-day revision countdown to IGCSE Business. So today we're going to talk about building your business vocabulary. Now this might seem like a very simple resource that we got in front of us, but it can actually be a really powerful tool. And I'm going to explain that with a couple of examples from the resource that you can see in front of you. So the first one we'll see is what business novices would say, so people who don't have an experience in using the vocabulary of business. And then on the other side we've got what successful business people would say. And more specifically for our purposes, people are going to score high grades in the IGCSE business exam. So what I see a lot of students do when I'm marking test papers is they will talk about the influence of money on the business. So in our day-to-day lives, everybody knows what money means, and often I can understand what the student is trying to say. However, to get higher grades, or even to get the grades, you need to use the correct term. So if it's money that comes from sales, that's revenue. If it's money that you've got to pay for different outgoings in your business, that will be costs. If it's revenue minus costs, that money, that will be profit. Or it could be cash flow. So that's the amount of money you have in the business in order to pay your short-term debts. So it's really crucial to use the correct term. Instead of just saying money, to use the correct term that's going to explain specifically what you're trying to say in your answers. The same goes for, this is just a little bit more complex, is when you're saying a waste of time or losing money. Okay, so you'll maybe gain 1 mark for this kind of explanation, but you won't get to 2 or 3 marks. And the way you'll do that is by saying that instead of saying you're wasting time, is that the time could be spent more effectively by choosing another course of action. Or this will increase costs. So instead of saying losing money, this will increase costs, and then be specific about the kind of costs, labor, recruitment, or advertising. Whenever I see answers which say losing money, this could be losing money because you dropped some money outside the office, or it could be because you lost your wallet down the back of the sofa. It's not explaining specifically why the business is losing money. So the reverse is applicable when instead of losing money, students tend to write they make more money. So you need to explain, why are they making more money? Is it because they've generated more revenue from sales, or is it because they've reduced costs and then improved the profit margins as a result? Whenever we get to longer questions that involve making a decision, usually analysis or evaluation questions, a classic mistake I would say is for students to say this is risky. Okay, because this is risky is a really vague, ambiguous term. Lots of things are risky. Nearly everything we do in life is risky, and it's the same in business. So it's much better to talk about, although there is a chance of failure, the benefits will be much greater than the potential losses. Okay? Or if you just want to say that it's risky, then you could say this is a high risk strategy. So they may want a lower risk strategy which has less chance of failure. The most important thing really to remember is that every business decision is a risk. Okay? You have to decide which decision will lead to the greatest benefit and the greatest chance of success. Leading on from this, whenever you're doing your evaluation, a common mistake is for students to say the advantages are more than the disadvantages. Well, you know, that's not really telling us anything. And you could use that in any question, in any paper, in any GCSE. The advantages are bigger than the disadvantages. However, if you explain why the advantages are bigger than the disadvantages. So, for example, although this will involve a short-term setup cost, he should implement the new human resources procedure, as it will lead to reducing costs in the long term and more profit in the long term. So therefore, you're saying why there's disadvantages in the short term, but it's going to lead to advantages in the long term. So why the disadvantages are greater than the advantages, or vice versa. And finally, a common way that students might finish an answer is to say, this will guarantee success for the business. Okay, unfortunately, in the world of Cambridge business and in life in general, success is never guaranteed. So it's much more useful, and it's going to get you a lot more marks if you say that this will increase the probability of success, or success is likely to be more successful, and then explain why. So that is day 2 done. Hang in there, guys. We still have 5 days until the exam. We got loads of ways in which you can improve your performance and improve your grades. Tomorrow we're going to be jumping into specifically what is in each type of question on paper 1 and paper 2, and the ingredients that you need to improve your grades. So make sure you connect with us on Instagram, on Facebook, or you go to YouTube, or just go back to caie.business.co.uk. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you.